It is time once again for another Chicago Bears pregame show right here on the Kenikka Sports channel. And yes, we are back talking about this crucial Week 17 matchup between the Bears and the San Francisco 49ers, which could determine who wins the NFC outright, earning that critical Week 1 bye week in the playoffs. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Kenny. I am back with my co-host, Nika. Happy Christmas, everybody.
Happy Christmas. Happy holidays.
Oh, it's been a great holidays because the Bears are kicking butt and taking names 11-4 heading into week 17 of this NFL season, everybody. Wow.
Almost over.
That is crazy. Well, the hits keep coming because the schedule is not getting any lighter. We have to go to San Francisco now and face a 49ers team that looked damn good on Monday Night Football. So we are going to do the typical here. We are going to talk about all of the injuries leading into this matchup. We got to talk about Kenny's keys to victory. That's me. And we are going to take a look at what Vegas thinks about this game and how it might play out on Sunday evening. And this is, I believe, one of the last games of the weekend, and then there will be a Monday night game as well. One last time. There's no Monday night game in week 18.
Okay. That makes sense.
But we're not there yet. We got to take these 1 week at a time. And before we get into this breakdown, please do us a favor. Like this video. Subscribe to our channel. And please ring that bell for our mascot, Freckles, a.k.a. Frexy. She is the biggest Bears doggo fan on the planet, everybody.
Thank you. She is.
Yes, indeed. And yes, one more time, Merry Christmas to all of you. It was a Merry Christmas for the Bears. I am still coming down from that come from behind victory over the Packers on Saturday night. Gosh, I got to get my days straight. I'm all over the place. It does not even feel like Friday right now.
It's the holidays.
It is.
It throws us off a little.
It's just the day after Christmas as far as I'm concerned. But what a Christmas gift we got early on Saturday. The Bears get that late comeback over the Packers. It was amazing. And you know who else thought it was amazing was Kevin Byard, the third. He was mic'd up during this game. And on Christmas Eve at 6 p.m., the Bears social media account on X posted this video highlight of Kevin Byard from that game, you know, and you can see some of these key moments. Obviously, there's so many moments from the game, you know, the fourth quarter, the onside kick, the touchdown pass, the Packers fumble, the next touchdown pass, the DJ Moore, the all of it. It's all there. He's reacting to all of it. I grabbed this snapshot of the end of it, Nika. It says him hugging Caleb Williams and saying, "Boy, you got ice in your veins, boy, you know?" And it's like, yeah. Everyone is starting to get the message that Caleb Williams is the Iceman.
Nice. That's a great nickname.
Baby.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, it is a great nickname because, you know, Iceman is a fighter pilot nickname from Top Gun.
That's true.
And anyways, great field general name. Good to be known as someone that's clutch under fire.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, speaking of clutch under fire, this game featured one of the best kicking performances of the NFL 2025 season from our guy, Cairo Santos, a guy who has taken tons of crap this year from Bears fans, mostly on social media that I've seen, you know, wanting him replaced for mistakes. And yeah, players are human beings, Nika.
Of course.
They are not perfect. Go figure.
Go figure, yeah.
But here we had a guy who was perfect, 3 for 3 on field goals, and not only that, he got that crucial onside kick. He got the right spin on the ball at the right moment, and Bears recover, baby. Led to all the theatrics. It should not go underrated. One of the unsung heroes of this game, probably the biggest. Congrats to Cairo.
Yay.
Yay. And it was Bears Christmas week, everybody. And the Bears celebrated by naming some Pro Bowlers with some stockings. They were hung in their lockers with care. Get it? And it was Joe Tooney, everybody, and Drew Dahlman. the center, getting his first Pro Bowl nod. Joe Thuney has been to the Pro Bowl many times as a Kansas City Chief. And Kevin Byard, the third, also getting a Pro Bowl nod this year. Well-deserved for all three men. Congratulations to them.
Well, thank you for the fans for voting.
Thank you to the fans who did vote. Yes, it was not the only variable. Because if you know, Caleb Williams got the fourth most overall fan votes, everybody. However, his name was absent. He had no stocking in his locker, and there was some fans saying that maybe he was snubbed. Look, I don't think so, guys. There's a lot of talented quarterbacks in the NFC, and I think Caleb needs to win at least some playoff games before he gets seated alongside of them, so to speak. I'm not going to say he's not had a great season. He's had a good, solid season for sure in his first year under Ben Johnson's new offense. But let's not be so quick to anoint everything on everybody.
He's got some room to grow.
Let's give him something else to strive for still. Like we got bigger prizes in mind anyways.
Yeah. So
the other big maybe snub that I could see on the Bears is Nashawn Wright, actually, because he has those 5 interceptions, and plus he has a bunch of fumble strips and fumble recoveries, and I think he's the league leader in NFL takeaways. So did he get snubbed? Probably. That's too bad. He's having a really great season. Hopefully it doesn't give him make him feel bad or anything, because he shouldn't.
Okay.
Anyways, well, congratulations. It's good to see the Bears in the Pro Bowl, and it's a meaningless game anyways.
Of course.
They don't even play in pads or anything anymore, I don't think, because they don't want guys getting hurt playing in a meaningless game.
So what is it, like a flag football?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Let us stay in the spirit of gift giving, Nika, and talk about a gift that the Packers got yesterday, everybody. The Packers clinch a 2025 playoff spot. They are heading back. The NFC North is still undecided. They could still technically catch the Bears. There's 2 games left. The Bears would have to lose out. The Packers will have to win out, as far as I understand it. So if the Bears just win 1 game, it's all over. If the Packers lose 1 game, it's all over. So that's that. The Packers were gifted this gift, by the way, by the Detroit Lions. Oh, what a pathetic performance yesterday.
It was. They lay an egg.
It's kind of been building and building and building. I've been paying attention to the Lions because I've been starting to get ready for this finale. I had this in my head decided already that the Bears were going to face the Lions in the final week of the season, and it was going to actually be a meaningful game, and possibly whoever wins or loses this game would go to the playoffs or not, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I'm a little bit disappointed in the Lions because I've been watching them play against the Steelers, and they can look at the referees and point fingers all they want, but they are sloppy. They are sloppier this year than they were in years past, and you have to wonder if missing Ben Johnson is just part of why that is.
I'm sure.
I don't know if it's anything so much different that Dan Campbell's doing, other than I don't know how they hold people accountable differently. That's all. And for some reason, the Lions, especially in the fourth quarter, have been sloppy procedurally. They've been setting themselves back. They're shooting themselves in the foot. And not only do you do that, you just get your whole offense out of rhythm or prevent it from getting into a rhythm.
Yes.
And so it's just something I've noticed. And when you want to talk about the downfall of the Lions this year, look no further than just their sloppiness and their inability to get it right at the line of scrimmage on offense late in games. That's my 2 cents.
I don't think they play full 60 minutes.
They do not. Jared Goff, by the way, had one of the worst games, I think, of the season yesterday.
Oh, wow.
3 fumbles lost, 2 interceptions. I asked you yesterday, and I'm going to repeat it. Can you imagine if Caleb Williams had a game like this? What the media would be doing to him?
He will be run out of town if they could.
No kidding. Well, elsewhere on Christmas Day, we had the Broncos winning against the Chiefs on the Sunday night affair. It looked for a while like the Broncos wanted to lose this game, but they did pull it out.
They did.
And then you had the Cowboys in the early game taking down the Washington Commanders in what wound up being a fairly meaningless day of football. The only consequential thing that happened were the Vikings took out the Lions for us. And I say for us because, it does help already that the Bears were in the playoffs, but they actually just helped the Packers.
They helped the Packers the most.
Yeah.
By getting them in.
Snoop Dogg. We got to talk about him for one hot minute because, last year's Super Bowl halftime show left a pretty mixed taste in people's mouths. You either loved it or you hated it. And I argued at the time that the NFL halftime shows are not the time and place for artwork. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to Snoop Dogg for hearing my message.
It was a
Obviously,
great
this
halftime.
is what it's about. It's about collaboration. It's about bringing people of different musical backgrounds together. And I loved it, especially Andrea Bocelli. Wow.
It was great.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody. And keep doing what you do, Snoop Dogg, which is just bringing people together.
He looked like a lord on that stage.
He did. And he had
totally
Lainey Wilson up there and a bunch of
really
others,
nice.
up and comers. We had some K-pop, everybody. So
Yeah.
get ready for it. It's gonna be here, and it's gonna be on our speakers all the time at some point. It's too big worldwide. Okay. As for the Lions, they clearly miss Ben Johnson, and it's really easy to see why. Here is Sunday Night Football on NBC posting Christmas Day. Ben Johnson has a single-digit standard in the NFL offense rankings, whether it's with the Lions or the Bears. Yards per game, rushing yards per game, third down percentage. Ben Johnson's Bears and Lions were top 10 teams in those regard. And that's why the Bears are successful this year and heading to the playoffs, Nika.
Well, Bears are a very special team this season.
They are, and it's been a special season for first-year head coaches in the NFL as well. We have Mike Vrabel with New England at 12-3. Of course, Ben Johnson with the Bears at 11-4, and Liam Cohen with the Jacksonville Jaguars, everybody, at 11-4, heading to the playoffs.
That's nice.
Is another great story in the NFL. I remember the Bears and the Jaguars last year in London, and both teams were, the Bears were 4-2 coming home. The Jaguars were not, and they were kind of like the delegated London team, because they were like so bad, I guess. But they do have Trevor Lawrence, and he is now playing excellent football. So kudos to them. All right. Well, we do have a game this week, a game of great importance, my friends. And it is the Bears at the 49ers, Sunday Night Football. Here is the poster. I saw this happening yesterday with the Netflix crossover, and I guess the Bears were allowed to get in on it, even though their game is on Peacock. But this is a Bears 49ers Stranger Things collaboration poster. So that explains the Chapter 17 title, A Trip Out West. And it also is a reference to the fact that it is NFL Week 17, everybody. And the Bears earned this trip out west. They also earned the primetime Sunday night slot. This is probably the best game of the weekend.
With a lot on the line.
There is a lot definitely on
For
the line.
both teams.
And that is because the Bears and the Niners are both alive and well for the coveted top spot in the NFC, everybody, which is currently held by your Seattle Seahawks after their amazing come-from-behind win against the Los Angeles Rams on last week's Thursday Night Football. So that's already over a week old.
I know.
And they play at Carolina this week, who is hanging on to that top spot in the NFC South. And the winner of that division will go on to the playoffs. The loser will not. It is going to be the Panthers or the Buccaneers. And that is the only spot in the NFC now that is available.
Okay.
So good luck. They play each other, by the way, in the final week of the season. But if the Buccaneers should somehow lose and the Panthers should somehow win this week, then not only would that make the top spot in the NFC more dramatic with, the Bears and 49ers game that night, but also the Buccaneers would be out. The Buccaneers need to win if the Panthers win. Otherwise, their Week 18 game will decide that division.
Wow.
Crazy.
Crazy. Coming to the wire for that.
Great stuff. By the way, before we have these consequential games on Sunday, Nika, we have consequential games on Saturday, including your newly anointed playoff team, the Green Bay Packers. They have to play the Ravens. And what's interesting about this game is that this game impacts the Bears in a big way. Should the Ravens win, not only will they keep their playoff hopes alive for at least another day, but the Green Bay Packers would also then not be able to catch the Bears mathematically and win the North, which would make the Bears the winner of the North and, I believe, the winner of the number 2 seed overall. The Eagles would have no chance of tying the Bears because the Bears hold a tiebreaker over them. And there's also a Saturday afternoon game that's a little less interesting. Texans at Chargers. I believe that is in L.A. Don't quote me on that. It's less interesting than it could have been had Denver lost last night, because then the Chargers would have a chance at getting the top spot. But I believe if the Texans win, they could possibly eclipse the Chargers in the standings. I think they have 5 losses. The Chargers have 4. They're in the same division. So, yeah. Buckle up, everybody. All right. Well, no matter what game is happening on Saturday and what games are happening on Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, this doesn't really change anything for me specifically for the Bears. The Bears are aiming right now with 2 weeks left to win out, Nika, and that will give them a chance to win the NFC. And this is a nice kind of game, battle test before the playoffs, like we talked about. Starting with the Packer game last week, this is another one of those tests. It's a road game, and the goal should be for the Bears to try and win the NFC still. Try and get that bye week, everybody. It's so important. Nobody has enough injuries that they can avoid, I guess, to not want to have the bye week. I mean,
course.
Everybody's a little bit banged up at this time of year. It doesn't matter who. So we got to look and try and do everything we can to win this game. Not only that, it would be looked at in the eyes of the media, I think, as a huge win for the Bears. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Because they are the underdog in this match.
A little bit. We'll talk about that.
Okay.
We will talk about that. I know what it looks like on paper, but I don't think the Bears are necessarily looked at by Vegas as an underdog in this matchup. Spoiler alert, everybody.
Okay.
We'll talk about that at the end of this. But for now, check out these pictures from practice this week. We get a look at the coach, very committed at practice. He's very focused in black and white. We get Caleb in color. He's wearing shorts out there in the Chicago weather, looking maybe he just wanted to get some sun on his legs. You know, he misses that California sunshine. I don't blame him. I know how that feels. But yeah, and we get Montez Sweat out there sweating it out. Go Bears. Good practice stuff. And they also got on the cameras, everybody, and did a little caroling and talked about some of their favorite Christmas songs. I specifically singled out Caleb Williams and DJ Moore here for calling attention to Charlie Brown's Christmas, my favorites as well. And DJ Moore nailed the dance, if you know what I'm talking about. So go check this out on social media, posted on Christmas Eve, everybody, at high noon, literally.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was really fun to see. And with that, I think that covers everything from just getting us caught up on NFL happenings and Bears happenings. But now let's focus our attentions on the important things in this game. First up, the injury report, everybody. The 49ers have a little guy on their team, big guy, named George Kittle, a tight end.
Oh.
And George Kittle is now likely a game-time decision. According to Cam Inman, he is a beat reporter who follows the 49ers. I grabbed this tweet from him because this is, I think, where you get some of the best information about players. And he says that George Kittle is going to be a game-time decision for Sunday Night Football. He has an ankle injury. It was listed as like low to mid, but not high. So people are speculating that he could be back. I've also heard some grumblings that he's not going to play.
Did he practice this week?
He has not yet.
Okay.
He is listed as a DNP, at least on Wednesday. I don't know if the 49ers practiced Thursday or not on Christmas. The Bears did not. Their injury report was mostly the same, but they did have a Thursday injury report put out. more on that in a second. But just to focus in on this George Kittle injury, he's really dangerous when he's healthy for San Francisco. So for starters, they're not going to want to rush him back from an injury and risk keeping it prolonged, especially when the playoffs are right around the corner. So that's one thing that I guess is a feather in the cap for him to not play.
Gotcha.
He, though, when he's on the field, I think causes some of the biggest mismatches for defenses, period. And the 49ers look to exploit it early and often when he's on the field because I think it helps get the rest of their offense going. In fact, I've been clamoring a lot of this season for the Bears to start using their tight ends earlier in the games because I feel like it would open up so much more for their offense, both short game, long game, because the defenses will have to adjust to that mid-tier tight end game. And like a lot of linebackers just cannot cover big tight ends like Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet. So I wish the Bears would take a page out of the Niners playbook and use their tight ends earlier in games. But I digress. If George Kittle's not on the field for the 49ers in this game, I think it gives the Bears a decided advantage in not having to just deal with him.
Okay.
Flat out. For the Bears, their injury report, you'll notice something that stands out right away, and that is that the Bears have a case of the flu bugs, everybody. 4 players listed on the injury report did not practice Wednesday and Thursday with illness. Josh Blackwell, Devin Duvernay, DeMarco Jackson, and Nick McLeod all did not practice
So they got
Wednesday and Thursday with illness.
Case of sniffles?
It appears so.
Okay.
Dr. Nika, everybody. What remedy do you recommend for a quick game time recovery for these men before the Sunday night football?
Rest
Yes.
and bone broth.
Bone broth. All right. When should they have this bone broth exactly? When they're feeling hungry or?
If you're sick, you don't really feel hungry, so you should be fasting more than anything else.
Of course. But in
You
the
should
terms
sip
of,
it all day.
As an athletic-minded person, I want to push back and be like, if they do fast to get rid of the flu faster, will they also be too weak to play?
Yeah, well,
So how do they maintain strength as an athlete
absolutely.
while they're going through this?
You go with the bone broth and then protein, eggs, meat, anything that has good protein.
Well, start with the bone broth, and if you keep it down, maybe move on to eggs and
see how you
steak.
feel. Yeah, basically, egg and steak, perfect.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Nika. All right. Well, TJ Edwards, bad news for the Bears with him. He is not practicing neither Wednesday nor Thursday with a glute injury, everybody. So got to see what's up with his glutes. Not sounding too good, though. This is another setback for him. He's had an injury-plagued season a little bit. All right, well, how about some good news for the Bears? Luther Burden III is practicing in a limited capacity at least, but at least he's moving around on that ankle, everybody. So that's good to see. And hopefully he will be out on the field because the more reps that he and Caleb can get in games together before the playoffs is a win, in my opinion. And also, we were thin at wide receiver last week, as we all know, with Jahdae Walker being the big guy stepping up and filling in for the missing Luther Burden III and Rome Odunze. Rome Odunze is not practicing, by the way, but Ben Johnson did say that they expect Rome Odunze to be back this season. You can interpret that in many ways, but he will at least be back out there in the playoffs, everybody. That's how I would interpret it, at least.
So the Bears have to weather the storm without him.
They do. The other injuries on here, Kevin Byard, ankle limited. Drew Dahlman, ankle and hand limited. CJ Gardner-Johnson, that was a big one that stuck out to me, that he's actually practicing. He left the game against the Packers, and he did not return, so good to see him back out there. Luke Newman has a foot limited, and Nishan Wright, hamstring limited. Amin Agbagbamia, I think I said that right.
You did?
Limited. So some injury concerns here, I would say, coming out of the Green Bay game. Maybe not surprising considering the physicality against the Packers that we all saw on the field. But,
and the wind and the cold weather.
Yeah. All things considered, Rome already being out and TJ Edwards being the only one that's kind of not practicing, that's not sick, I guess is, we'll take it. At this point of the season, the Bears, I think, will continue to weather their injuries as they have all season long, both short-term and long-term.
It's good to know that we have a depth.
We do. And they've really done a great job of weathering those storms when they come up. At this point, I want us to get as 100% as healthy as we can before the playoffs, but also do everything in our power to win these games, Nika. And that leads us into Kenny's Keys to Victory, everybody. Kenny, that's me. Hey, and I just want to clarify one thing before we get into this. This is not a San Francisco 49ers shirt. This is a Chicago Bulls tank top. And
It does say Chicago
of course,
on it.
me hoping that the Chicago Bulls and their red hot 4-game winning streak rub off a little bit on our Bears over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I see. That's the angle.
We'll see. The Bears tank top is also in the washer. Everybody. Yes.
Thanks for clarifying.
Hey, no problem. I'm inviting people into our lives here. And yeah. All right. Well, first key to victory this week, Nika, is to get the Bears offense going full throttle early in a game. You know, Green Bay, we botched that 4th and 1 at the goal line in the first quarter, and it seemed like our offense never, ever got going after that until there was like 2 minutes left in the game. I would like to avoid that, and I would just like the Bears to mentally get in the habit of getting off to good starts in games and scoring points in the first quarter. I know it's not always going to happen, but I like it to be the goal and the strive. And I know Ben Johnson is striving for that, but you know, executing it is another thing entirely. So we got to do it, and we got to do it in this game in particular if we want to win. Also, the Green Bay monkey is kind of off our backs now. We beat them. Everyone was like, you got to beat Green Bay. We beat them. And it was a big win emotionally. So there can be a letdown after that. I would like to see the opposite effect. I would like to see a building off of that happen. I would like to see the Bears use this victory to propel them to greater heights that I think we all know they're capable of.
Okay.
They just haven't played on offense this season a full 60-minute game yet. We haven't seen it, maybe except for against the Cowboys. But even then, a lot of the damage was in the first half. A lot of the second half was maintenance. You know, we might need the offense for a whole game. And if there's any game that we need to score points in, it's against this 49ers team, everybody. They just put up 48 on the road in Indianapolis.
Of course.
I know 7 of those came off a pick in the fourth quarter, but
they play a passing game.
they do.
Just
Look at
like
these
the
numbers.
Bears.
They're 9th in points per game. We're 10th. You know, they're 9th in yards per game. We're 4th. So this is one of those games on paper that it looks like we need to score points and keep up with their offense. And we can. We are capable. I want Caleb to work on his consistency still, you know, and get a 4 quarters game going, you know. So let's see if he can continue to work on that. You know, like we said a couple weeks ago that Caleb Williams can still improve this year. And even with 2 weeks left and a playoff game coming up, he can still improve. He can still get better. And I think this Packers game in the rear view might actually help him. You know? Especially delivering in the way that he did. I mean, how can you not make that throw and then feel like you can't make any throw?
Oh, well.
Let's not get carried away here.
Exactly.
But now the Bears should be able to give Caleb some pass protection here, because here is the key stat, everybody. The 49ers are last in sacks right now. They are 32nd with only 18 sacks this year. If you thought the Bears didn't get pressure at 22nd in the NFL, they have 31 sacks. The Niners have 18.
Okay,
That's
so
almost
that's
like that's less than 1 a game, or it's a little over 1 a game, I guess.
okay. So they need to exploit this.
Yes, and then the Bears have a great offensive line, and they should be able to give Caleb time back there. And if Caleb has time to sit in the pocket and not have to be Houdini, he should be able to carve these guys up. We should be able to move the ball. We should be able to hit some plays downfield, some big plays. So I think that's what I want to see from Caleb this week. Like, let's exploit the 49ers' weakness, right?
Absolutely.
And he's a big part of that in this. He's got to make accurate throws early on in this game, get the game rolling in our direction. The 49ers, by the way, are 28th in interceptions. They only have 6. So, you know, Caleb doesn't throw interceptions. So this should be a good marriage for us in this game. And they are 20th in the turnover differential at -4. They turn the ball over more then they take it away from other teams. That's the exact opposite of what the Bears do.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about the Bears. Key number 2 in this game is that we as a team need to start to figure out creative ways to create pressure, because for a majority of the time out there, the front four on defense are just not getting enough of a job done, in my opinion. And it's time for the Bears, as the playoffs gets closer and closer, to start to incorporate more packages that send blitzers, linebackers, cornerbacks, and disguise them. And you have to account for that loss then in coverage, because that guy's not going to be out there covering receivers and passes, and that can create problems. I get it, but I just feel like if you allow quarterbacks like Brock Purdy, who we're going to see this week, time, they will just carve you up. I got his numbers here. He was hurt after September 28th. He didn't play again until November 16th, everybody. But if you look at his games this year, especially last week, coming off that Colts game and his last 2 games in particular, 76.7% completion percentage, 73.5% completion percentage, 8 touchdowns, almost 600 yards passing, and only 1 interception. So he is playing some really good football coming into this game. It's going to be a tough one, and like I said, we might have to try and keep up points-wise with this team.
This is quarterbacks matches.
It is, but we have to figure out how to put some pressure on him. Like, that should be the test this week, because if we give him time to pick us apart, he will absolutely do it. And having said that, we must also zero in on Christian McCaffrey, everybody. If you look at the team leaders, it's Christian McCaffrey on rushing. It's Christian McCaffrey on receiving. He is the team leader. I'm not saying he's their only offense, but he has stepped up. The 49ers have had some injury at receiver this year, but still, this guy is their offense. 1,000 yards already on the ground this year, 9 rushing touchdowns. He also has 92 receptions. That's for 9.2 yards a reception and 7 touchdowns. I mean, that's getting it done on both the receiving and the rushing end of it. So, yeah, these are the 2 guys that we need to zero in on. I think if George Kittle is not there, it kind of puts a weak link in their tripod.
Sure.
So hopefully, if he's not out there, the Bears can zero in on McCaffrey more and limit the damage. But either way, it's a big challenge. These are not going to be easy tasks. That's what I wrote down in my notes. This is not going to be easy, whether George Kittle's out there or not.
Yes.
I mean, you're on the road, too.
49ers are not a joke. There's a reason why they have the same record as the Bears.
Oh, yeah. They are. And the NFC West is no joke. And
right.
The 49ers, by the way, are still alive to not only win that division, but to win the entire NFC, just like the Bears are. So my third key to victory in this game is to be ready again to call on the late game heroics and drama, because there is a lot on the line. And I have a sneaking suspicion that this game is going to come down to the wire. Everywhere I looked this week, the analysts, NFL Network, split. There was 10 analysts. 5 had the Bears, 5 had the 49ers. Our guy, Mike Florio on NFL on NBC, who is actually doing the game on Sunday night, he and Chris Sims have their podcast. They were torn. Chris Sims took the Bears.
50-50.
Mike Florio took the Niners. There's a lot on the line on this game.
The
loser will probably not win the NFC. The winner will have a chance still. A true toss-up in every sense of the word, I think, and even Vegas thinks so. But Kenny, what do you mean? All right, well, let's turn our attentions to Vegas, as we do at the end of these pregame shows. The Vegas line in this game right now has the San Francisco 49ers by 3 at home. And if you are a betting man or betting person, you would know that anytime the home team is favored by 3 points in an NFL game or less, it is essentially a push. They are essentially saying they don't know. So there's no half point here, which is also interesting on the Vegas line. Now, if you look at the money just on the who's going to win, the money is favoring San Francisco 60% to 40%. And that's not really a surprise considering they're the home team here.
Yes.
But if you look at just the spread, the 3-point spread, the money heavily is favoring the Bears, 68% to 32% of the percentage of bets placed and 64% of the money wagered. This is a close one.
It is a close one.
This is a true toss-up. Polymarket, Nika. They're right there with it. 61 to 39%. We said 60-40 in Vegas, 60 same in Polymarket land. The spread. Now they have a 2.5 and a 3.5 point spread. So I took both, considering Vegas has a 3.0. I just wanted to see. And the 2.5 spread is heavily favoring San Francisco, 58 to 45 cents. But the 3.5 spread is heavily favoring the Bears at 53 cents to 48 cents. So right on the middle of that 3-point spread. Choose wisely. Now, this is the only thing I want to interject in this matchup, and that is that the over-under right now at 52.5 points is a dead heat on the Poly market. And if you go down, they have 51.5 and 50.5. It only starts to favor the over more.
Okay. They think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
And I don't.
You don't think so, huh?
I am going to bet the under in this one if I'm a betting person, which I'm not, but I'm just offering advice because the Bears are going to win this game, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Prediction time. The Bears are going to win this game, and the reason why they're going to win this game is because they are going to control the clock and limit the touches for the 49ers. The only advantage the Bears have over the 49ers in this game is really defensively and up front, and I think the Bears will find a way to pull it out. And I'm going to say the final score is going to be 31 Bears, 20 Niners. And that means that's only 51 points, and that means you should be betting the under unless you want to look at that 50.5 and maybe choose the over. But be careful. I feel like the more time the Bears have the ball in this game, the more time of possession that they have, the better off they're going to be. And if you go back and look at the stats that I had up earlier, everybody, the team rankings, the Bears are 5th in time of possession. The 49ers are 7th. So I feel like this is where the game is going to be won and who has the ball longer. And the Packers put on a little bit of a schooling last week in this regard in this game. And this is like kind of my final thought here is that the Bears need to figure out ways to not let what happened last week happen to them again, because the Packers totally took them out of what makes them successful. They limited the Bears' time of possession. It was only like 26 minutes and something. The Bears are usually the ones winning this victory, and yet the Packers just stuck it to them in this regard. So they need to reclaim that mantle and be the team that wins the time of possession. And when you're facing a team that I think you're kind of even with in time of possession, it's a good opportunity. That this may be where the game is won, everybody. It really might be. All right, well, some final predictions. Caleb Williams is going to go off in this game. 325 yards and 3 touchdowns, a 62% completion percentage. Are you happy, everybody? Luther Burden, DJ Moore, and yes, Jade Walker are all going to catch touchdowns in this one.
Wow.
The Bears' ground game goes for over 150 yards, and the Bears use the momentum from the Green Bay game in a positive way, like I talked about earlier, and start to look like a beast, everybody, heading into the final week of the 2025 NFL season. Whether they claim that top spot in the NFC or not, people will be talking about the Bear and fearing the Bear. So have a great holiday week, everybody, and look forward to this Bears victory on Sunday night as we head into 2026. My goodness.